All right, there, scholars. So we started a new unit on geometry, and tonight's homework, we are looking at two different things. We're looking at polygons and determining if they are considered a regular polygon or an irregular polygon. And the way we can determine that is based on the number of congruent sides that they have. And then the other part of our homework is classifying triangles based on what kind of triangles we see based on the sides and the angles that consist or make up those triangles. So we'll first just look at polygons. So polygons is just a more fancy schmancy way of saying shapes. So we can put those into two different categories. We can have a regular polygon or an irregular polygon. Now, a regular polygon means that all the sides are congruent. Now, congruent is just a fancy way of saying equal. So a regular polygon, like a square, has 4 congruent sides, meaning all of the sides are the exact same length. Another shape, another polygon that is a regular polygon is the equilateral triangle, because all sides are congruent. All 3 sides are the same length. But then we have shapes that are irregular polygons, meaning not all sides are congruent. Let's check out this rectangle here. Think about what you know about a rectangle. 2 sides are equal length, and then the other sides are 2 of the same equal length. So when you look at a rectangle, we know that these 2 ends are congruent, and then these 2 sides are congruent to each other. Now, not all of these sides are the same length, so it's not a regular polygon. Not all 4 sides are congruent. Excuse me. So that is an irregular polygon. That is the first bit of your homework tonight. The second bit of your homework, I sent home a little cheat sheet that you can reference to help you classifying your triangles tonight. So when we classify triangles based on their angles, we're either going to have a right triangle, an acute triangle, or an obtuse triangle. That's one way we classify triangles, is based on the angles of the triangle. Another way to classify is dependent on the number of congruent sides. So if a triangle has 3 congruent sides, meaning all 3 sides are congruent, that is an equilateral triangle. There is a keyword inside there to help you kind of click it all together. Equal, equilateral, all 3 sides are equal. They're the same length. They're all congruent. Another kind of way to classify a triangle based on its sides is a scalene triangle. That means that's a triangle. None of the sides are the same length. That's scalene. And the last type is isosceles. An isosceles triangle has 2 congruent sides, and the third is not the same. All right. I'm going to go through a couple problems on tonight's homework to help you a little bit get a jump start on tonight's work. Okay. So they're going to give you a combination of problems. So you're either going to see a model drawn for you, and then you have to determine it based on the drawing that they give you, like numbers 2, 3, and 4. Or you're going to see, like on questions 5 and 6, they're not drawing it for you. They're just telling you what the sides and the angles look like. So if we can check out, let's do number 4 together. Number 4 I see two things immediately that pop out to me. And this might look familiar because we did it in class earlier today. The first thing that I noticed is the angles. I immediately noticed, this is question number 4. I immediately noticed that there is a right angle. And going back to our list of triangles based on their angles, there's a right triangle, an acute triangle, or an obtuse triangle. Because there is a right angle, this must be a right triangle. So this is a right triangle. I'm going to abbreviate triangle. So we just determined what kind of triangle this is just based on the angle. Now, number 4 also gives you the length of their sides. So I see that the side going up and down is 7 inches. Across is 24 inches, and coming down is 25 inches. That's the second thing that I noticed. I noticed the sides next. 7, 25, and 24. None of those are the same. So if you're using my little cheat sheet, you can reference it and see that a scalene triangle has no congruent sides. None of the sides are the same length. So not only is this a right triangle, it's also considered a scalene triangle. Okay? Let us look at, let's look at number 5, okay? This time, they told us the measurements of the angles and the lengths of the sides. They did not give us a picture. So the first thing I noticed is the sides. The first side is 44 centimeters, or millimeters, I'm sorry. The second side is 28 millimeters. And the third side is 24 millimeters. I can automatically determine what kind of triangle this is based on the lengths of the sides. None of these are the same. None of them are the same. 44, 28, 24. That, my friends, is a scalene triangle, if I've ever seen one. No 3 sides are the same. That's scalene. Next, I want to look at the angles they gave me. So the first angle is 110. The second angle is 40. And the third angle is 30. So in regards to angles, there is a right triangle, acute triangle, and obtuse triangle. And you learned this in 4th grade. But in case you need a little help remembering, I'll do a little cheat sheet for you. So a right angle equals 90 degrees. And acute angle is less than 90 degrees. And obtuse is more than 90 degrees. So now I can look at these angles. I have 110. That's greater than 90. That's an obtuse angle. Then I have 40. 40 is less than 90. That's an acute angle. Then I have 30 degrees. 30 degrees is less than 90 degrees, so that's an acute angle. So I have one obtuse angle, and I have 2 acute angles. A triangle with at least one obtuse angle is an obtuse triangle. So there's one obtuse angle, which means it is an obtuse triangle. So for number 5, we can classify those two. We can classify that triangle as being scalene based on the length of its sides. And we can also classify it as an obtuse triangle because of its obtuse angle. All right, guys, I hope this helped, and I will see you all tomorrow.